Hey, all you cool ghosts and gremlins. Welcome to episode 179 of the Collector's Quest podcast. In this episode, as is tradition, because it's October, we're talking about 13 collectible Halloween games. I think we got a good mix this year. We got cheap stuff, we got expensive stuff, we've got obscure stuff. Hopefully it's not just Resident Evil and Silent Hill. So tell your mom about the show, give us 5 stars on iTunes, and let's go. Welcome back to another episode of Collector's Quest. I'm Tyler here with Johnny and Stefan. What's going on, guys?
Hey, Moose.
Johnny, I'm 32 years old. I don't get your reference, which is probably from the 80s.
Yeah, probably.
Great.
So,
you're not going to tell me. So someone message me and tell me what Hey Moose is from. Because you Google Hey Moose and you get like Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Hey.
Also, we have listeners younger than me, Johnny, who you are also disenfranchising with your Hey Moose reference.
Hey, they all know I'm the old guy. They are on board, or they don't care because they are young and aloof and don't give a shit about me. That's fine.
This is how we're
not here to
starting
please them. Yeah. That's how we did it.
I think it's just as strong a start as anything else.
Yeah. I
Johnny,
mean, we've definitely had worse openings.
I have to tell you a story that just happened, actually. So
okay.
Then you'll appreciate this as the other parent in the room. So Piper went with her grandmother today, just like out. She just showed up and wanted to take her out. And I was like, sure, whatever. So they went off and shopped, and Carolyn bought Piper this little like gumball machine, probably like, maybe it's like a mini machine, but it had full-size gumballs in it. So maybe like 25 gumballs.
Okay, and, I got one of these as a kid myself.
Yeah, and Piper's never had gum before in her life, so I was like, okay, that was an interesting gift.
Piper's 5, right?
Yeah. She's 6. Yeah,
she's 6. She's never had gum. She just
never
turned
had
6, right?
Yeah, never. Yeah, never.
Children do things for the first time sometimes, Johnny.
Yeah, so she's never had gum.
Yeah, it says guy without a kid. Thanks. Thanks for the insight.
So we give her one piece, and earlier today, and it went successful enough. Fine, whatever. So, but I didn't really keep track of like where that gumball machine was. So I just walk out right before we started recording. I was gonna go fix her dinner, and I look at her, and she's got like her whole face. She looks completely swollen, and for a second, I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with my daughter?" She had taken all of it.
What? Yeah, all the gumballs.
Every piece of gum and shoved it in her mouth.
Outstanding. As she should.
And she looks at me and she like tries to smile, but it doesn't really work out because she has a mouth completely full of gum.
That, every kid has that rite of passage.
Oh, so funny. So funny.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so
that's my non sequitur for the day.
All right, I'll sequitur us back. Okay. Is that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it has to be, right? If there's a non sequitur, this is a sequitur.
Sure.
The episode. Hey, guys, it's that time of year again. Snow is on the ground. Presents are under. Nope, that's wrong holiday. It's Halloween time.
Whoa!
Get spooky. Whoa!
It feels like
ghost.
it. Time moves in a way
Spooky
that's so
ghost.
easy to tell these days.
Yeah, I know. Especially when you live in a seasonless country like Los Angeles, and you're just like, oh, I guess the weather changed. Maybe. Nope, still hot.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, it's that time of year. We're into going to be the middle of October. By the time this episode comes out, it will have been my birthday. Best time of the year, getting towards Halloween. So we're doing the Halloween episode. Woo!
Episodes. Yeah. We're gonna have 3 ?
2. Just 2.
Just 2. Damn. All right.
Just 2. Yeah. 3 is too much. You get too angry when we're doing 3. You're like, there's too much content. I don't want blah, blah, blah. And you start complaining.
I don't get angry at content. Didn't we have 3 set up? We're doing this one, which is just horror games. We're doing the secret next episode, which is a history episode. Didn't we have a third one?
That's it.
That's
it. Just the 2. That's how we. This is So You Want to Collect Halloween 4. 4. This is number 4.
Yes, so if you want to collect the movie Halloween 4, this is what that's all about.
No, this is
Yes.
Halloween games.
This is for all you
Halloween
VHS
themed
collectors.
Halloween, yeah, all of you VHS. There's also a Halloween comic because Tyler's like, Johnny talks about comics too much, so I figured I'd throw one out there real quick.
Thanks.
Yeah. So Tyler's complaining to everyone I know. He's like, well, Johnny, I'm
What is all I do complain about the
This
show?
is a new Tyler voice for you, but I like it.
There's Tyler now. He's just
That's a
complaining
Tyler
about
now.
everything. Let's talk. Just how I talk. Ah.
Johnny
This
is
is-
in rare form tonight, everyone.
I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's happening. I got some weird energy. Even my wife's like, you're a little weird tonight. And that's hard to hear when you're like normally like kind of weird all the time. When your wife's like, this is a little extra. You're a little extra today. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
All right.
I can
That,
see
that
that.
tracks.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So we're doing the Halloween episode. Guys, we got 13 Halloween games coming for you. Each of us hosts are going to talk about some games. We're going to talk about, some of their details. Not so much if they are collectible. This is if you were to go buy them. So we'll have some price, some general fun facts, and, just a little bit about the game. We're not going super deep. We're just telling you some. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games that you could loosely connect to Halloween. I know I'm doing it every single day of my life. And we're going to talk to you just about 13 of them that we have not previously talked about on a Halloween episode before. They may have been mentioned offhandedly other times, so don't at me because you heard it once on an episode. We go like 3 hours a couple of times a month, and we're bound to get some overlap. All right.
Isn't there only one Halloween game on Atari? Are there other Halloween games?
No, but there's other places you could find Michael Myers.
Ah. So we're going Halloween adjacent games. So all games related to Michael Myers or like ripoffs of Michael Myers.
I mean, we could, but that's not what we're doing here.
Oh, okay.
Way to keep track.
What?
All right. Yep. Hey,
I
just
looked
for
up the
that,
price
you
of a
could-
sealed Halloween VHS tape. There's not even one on eBay, guys, but Halloween 2
shit.
is like $3,000.
Holy God. Halloween 2 is a terrible movie.
Well, I imagine this is not the time to buy that movie. So
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you're
Also, now
correct.
is not the time to-
2021 is not a good time to buy VHS tape, Stefan.
Yeah,
Okay, but I also was talking about October 6th.
so you know what else is not a good time to buy VHS tapes? Ever.
Ever.
I mean,
Just-
to be fair,
Unless-
everyone who bought any of these, except for the ones that are selling for thousands of dollars, which literally none of them might be selling, they all paid 25 cents for them. So, not the
true.
worst purchases in the world, Johnny.
No, look, if you're flipping and making money, you like anyone out there who's like, I would spend $3,000 on Star Wars, the VHS tape. It's the red label. It says Fox on the side. I'm very excited about this copy. No, knock it off. Don't do that. Just fucking stop it.
You're just
Nerd.
jealous, Johnny. You're jealous of
Nerd.
the VHS.
I'm definitely
the
not.
Fox CBS original
I
release with the
was
special.
100.
The flap is like a
Tyler,
different
are
color.
those the silver boxes you're talking about? Because those are second prints, and you can't actually find out because these ones were actually no seal. So if somebody says they were sealed, they're lying to you.
Hey, Johnny, this is taking some interest out of video games, so just be grateful.
That's true.
It-
I am
not
grateful,
like
but
I don't
in
know
fact-
how much, but there is some amount of people spending money on this that are not spending money on video games now because it's
That's
the newest
true.
Because people
Well,
follow
investors
trends.
investors like that are jumping over. So keep going. You know what? VHSs are the hottest investment there is. And if I could give one piece of advice to those people who are interested in investing, I would say definitely look into VHS. They're a hot commodity in low quantities, and if you can find them sealed, you're going to make a bundle. Go get them. VHS tapes.
My favorite part is that you can only get movies from certain eras because it's really fun that VHS ends at like a history of violence. Really good. Let's stop talking about VHS tapes. What are some horror games, Johnny?
No, I don't know. I can't talk about it now. It is actually a tradition. If you listen to any of our other So You Want to Collect Halloween Games episodes, you will find that we sidetrack so hard that you're like, how could this possibly be an episode related to Halloween games? They don't all need to be horror. In fact, my first game that I'm going to talk about is not a horror game, Tyler.
Whoa.
And I'll start us off. And, it's a little game that I'm not sure you've ever heard of. Stop me, guys, if you've heard of this one. I think, how is this said? Fester's Quest for the NES.
That's a pretty rare one. I think that's usually up there with like the Taito games. People are always looking for that.
Yeah. So the funny thing about this game is that it's made by Sunsoft. And that's not the funny thing. Everyone's like, oh man, this Sunsoft game, like the Towers of the World, like, yeah, it's cool, but where's your first print? I want the first print. And the first print is actually the US copy. Weird, because it was never printed in Japan. There was no Japanese Fester's Quest. There is a European one, which came out a month after this one in 1989. I think this one came out in October. That one came out in like December of 89. So there you go. Fester's Quest. Let me tell you a little bit about the game and its prices, though. This game, it sold over 1 million copies. It's all over the place. It got like pretty middling reviews, but this game still sold gangbusters. Everybody had this game, and parts of the game are like super dumb and hard. And then other parts, like directly after the really hard parts, are very easy. It's super inconsistent. And that's as the reviews reflect. But as someone who had this as a child, I was just like, man, I just have to try and beat this. And you go into the sewer at the very beginning of the game, and it's just hard. But because this game sold so many, and whether people liked it or hated it, still sold 1 million, you can find this game pretty easily. It's very common. You can get it for $20-ish on like the lowest of the low end, and about $45, maybe even as high as $50, but like that $40 to $50 range if you're getting a nicer copy. And you can still find boxed copies of this game. But beware.
Whoa.
There's a poster. So get the one with the poster. Don't buy the one without a poster. Go get the poster, guys.
Johnny, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Related to how the hell this game is so popular.
I don't know.
What was going on with the Addams Family? This game came out in 1989?
Yep.
What was going on with the Addams Family in 1989?
I think talks of the movie were in place, but I don't think the Addams Family actually had their movie until like 91, right?
Because the Pinball came out in 91, I think. Maybe 92. So the movie probably came out in 1991 or 1992. We could look this up. We're in front of computers. But whatever.
Yeah, it's 1992.
So this game is based on the old TV show.
Yeah.
Which I guess was like had reruns. It's crazy
In
to
the
me
70s.
that this
Yeah.
it would be like if a Leave It to Beaver NES game was like one of the best selling NES games.
Well, like they have like it's weird. I don't.
It doesn't even have the
don't
license
know.
in the title. It's just like, oh, it's Fester's Quest,
No.
from the Addams Family.
Yeah,
Because
it
it's just-
doesn't even say the Addams Family. It's just Fester's Quest, and then on the title screen, actually, it says Uncle Fester's Quest.
Oh, weird. Dude's pretty iconic, though. I mean, like you put that guy on the front of the box, you know who you know who that guy is.
I mean, but I think it takes courage to use a licensed property and not just make it like, oh, it's the Addams Family game. Because there are 2 other Addams Family's games that are just like, oh, it's the Addams Family game.
What if it's unlicensed? What if they didn't get the Addams Family license and they were just like, fuck it?
Licensed by
Starring
Nintendo
Uncle.
for
Just
them.
like...
No, but I mean, just like if they didn't get the show license, Johnny. Like if they were just
I mean,
like,
they have Fester's
YOLO.
likeness. I mean, they have Fester's likeness down on this. It's got a cool cover. It's got like lightning on it. It's got the Addams Family mansion. It's got Fester very prominently on the front. So if you don't like the way Fester likes, you're going to hate this because most of the game is his big dumb face. So yeah. What more is there to say about this game? Get the poster. Find a nice copy. If you don't have a nice
is the
copy,
poster the box art though?
yeah, it's of that
who would
vein.
want
It's
that on
got
their
some other
wall?
stuff.
Ugh.
Hey, who cares? Just make sure you get a complete copy, right? That's
saying.
what we're going for here.
Why would
Yeah,
you
I mean,
do
it's also got some like shirts. It's also got a special offer for shirts and a hint book. And that's going to go to my other fun facts. Hey guys, this one has a rare strategy guide from the Sunsoft Perfect Guides. So there's one for Fester's Quest that you can find that goes for a price ? I think the last one I saw sell for $300, and I haven't seen one sell for a while because I kind of want it. So that's sad news. And then the other thing it was also on the Play Choice 10. Did you know this, Tyler? That there's a Play Choice 10 version of this stupid game?
I wouldn't have been able to name that off the top of my head because it's not a game I'd be interested in owning.
So you know how the Play Choice 10 had those like stickers you put on the metal plate to like advertise for it?
Yeah,
For,
they
like,
came
what
with
game
the
you had?
toppers, yeah.
Yeah, toppers, right. So there's one for this, which goes for between like $50 and $90. So if you are a real big fan of this game, you can go get all these fun extras.
Don't become an NES hint guide person. That's just a road that in 2021 you do not want to start down that road.
Don't become an NES hint guide guy from when? Do you know how many strategy guides I already own?
I'm talking to the listener. Like you have stuff to build upon.
Mistakes.
If you were just starting to collect NES hint guides, there are so many of them that just don't come up ever.
Ever. Like ones I'm still have save searches for. And then like when you see it, you're like, do I really want to spend $500 on this shitty black and white guide? And if the answer is no, then go away from this. Run, children, run. So,
So it does say the Addams Family in like the Addams Family font on the title screen. So that is super weird. They didn't put it on the box, but then put it like really small on the title screen.
Yeah, it's like a weird game too. There's like UFOs in it and stuff. Yeah. The back of the box does actually have like it says the Addams Family and shows like the mansion, but that's like an in-game screen. So. Yeah, Fester's Quest is a weird game. It uses the Blaster Master engine. That's another fun fact for you.
Oh, I never realized that.
Yeah.
That is a neat fact.
See all these good little facts I have?
Good facts,
the rest of them aren't
Johnny.
The rest of them aren't going to be this hot, guys. So enjoy this one. And like, I wanted to make this one especially like fact-filled because it is the most accessible game we're probably going to talk about, especially for an old system. Like, you can buy a nice copy of this game, and it's like a pretty well-known, respectable game. $40.
I'm going to disagree with you there, Johnny, but...
What do you mean?
I have a much cheaper game than Fester's Quest.
That's iconic.
As iconic as Fester's Quest, sure.
Sold a million copies?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. If you believe that.
Should we just segue right into it?
We should.
I mean, it only makes sense right now to segue, Johnny. First Encounter Assault Recon Fear, a game that is worthless, but also amazing.
What is that? I don't know what that doesn't. First Encounter
you just strung words
Assault
together.
Recon.
It's
Fear. It sounds like a space
Fear is an
game.
okay name for a game. Turning it into an acronym and calling it First Encounter Assault Recon is a pretty cringy, forced way to do it.
Yeah, look at us. We've made Fear. That's like a weird series too, because the numbering doesn't quite work and the games are a little bit different. Like Fear is a weird series.
Am I remembering? And this can't be. No, I'm thinking of Thief 4. So I was thinking if Fear 3 turned the A into a 3, but it's Thief 4 becomes Theof, I think. Anyway.
Good one.
Johnny.
Yes, Tyler Moose.
I assume everyone listening to the podcast knows what Fear is. It's a first-person horror shooter game, but in a way I would say is more horror than any FPS that has come before it. So you like go into an office building and you're fighting clone soldiers and you have slow motion just like Max Payne, where you could slow down time and shoot dudes. And all of that is great. But then there's also the other half of the game, which is super influenced by Japanese horror. There's this little girl, Alma, that follows you around the building. Like very clearly she's just Sadako from Ringu. And
yeah, absolutely.
It's like really silent, and it uses a lot of just creepy audio cues. I mean, someone will come up with a counterexample that this isn't like the first real horror FPS. But in games like, System Shock, Doom 3, all this stuff.
I'm sorry, you're not considering Doom?
So all that stuff that comes before it, all the horror is stuff that you just can shoot. It's like, oh shit, there's something scary. I'm going to shoot a shotgun at it. This is the first game I remember where there's the shooting part, and then there's also, Alma, you can't shoot her. She just is there to fuck with you, basically.
Huh.
Okay. And just to go back to what you were saying earlier, there is a Fear. It's Fear 3 with the 3 as the E.
Yeah, I figured it was the E. Okay, yeah. Great. I've never played the other two.
And don't worry, when Fear 4 comes out, the the A will be a 4.
That's
So it'll be-
great. I hate that. That's why do people do that? It's
Yeah, I
like,
don't know. It's
you
so
know who
dumb.
would do that? People who named their game First Encounter Assault Recon.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the cover of this game, right? That like it tries to be like, look, we want to call ourselves Sphere, but we also kind of want to be like maybe like something that isn't a horror game, but we absolutely are. They're really trying to blend the genre even on the cover, and it is not working for me. So you see like a guy in tactical gear with like an overly large tank gun, and then you see Alma in the background.
I think this game is super good, Johnny. It is $0 on Xbox 360. Seriously, has to be one of the cheapest Xbox 360 games. PS3 is $15 to $20. This was a later release on PS3. So I don't remember if I said, but it came out in 2005 on PC, 2006 on Xbox, and then 2007 on PS3. So this was old fucking news by the time it came out on PS3. I guess it's a horror game. Maybe it gets a bump from that. I don't know.
Yeah, so there's a couple of different versions of this. Are you going to talk about the versions?
Only on the platform that matters, the PC version, where this game actually came out and made a splash. There's like a gold edition, a platinum edition. There's a director's cut DVD version that comes in a brown box, and a DVD version because in like 2006 or whenever that came out, having a game on a DVD was a pretty novel thing.
Ooh, this one's a DVD.
I would personally just get the plain old regular box, which is it's like $15 shipped is probably what you'll pay for it. So super cheap, cheaper than Fester's Quest, and I think you should buy it. Is there variants on the PlayStation, Johnny?
There's not anything like really worth going into.
Okay, because
Not anything. It's garbage. And it's all $10. I mean, there is the like one with the bonus DVD you can get,
ooh,
and it talks about oh god, what is it? Panics. Also, but not panics the way a normal human would spell it. It's an acronym for something. P period A period. It's so stupid. Like, why? Don't stop doing this. Stop trying to make. They're like, we've got this word. We're really going to make this work. Don't do that. Not a good practice.
I agree, Johnny. That's fair.
Guys.
It's cool. It's cheap.
Yeah.
It's only small box. It's not big box, but go buy it anyway.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Don't buy it. Here's my tip for you guys who might be buying PC games. If it's in a small box, put it in the garbage where it belongs. PC
Man.
big box or nothing.
PC small box never gets respect. I don't understand why PC games are like, even among PC collectors, there's like, 2004 happened. I can't buy any of these games now. It's so weird and ridiculous. They're bigger than most console games, but they're considered too small to collect. It's a paradox.
No, you might at that point you might as well just be going to Target and getting the ones on the back shelf in the DVD cases.
Oh man. I mean, you want some hidden object games. Don't make fun of them, Johnny.
I'm a fucking wackadoo. I do what I want. I'm not here for big box PC collecting or small box PC collecting. I'm out here on my own level doing my own thing. So.
Go get the PS3 Fear before someone hypes it. I imagine all these games are so common that their prices can basically never move. But you never know, Johnny.
I mean, Fear 3 is actually the expensive one, especially if you get it in the Shield variant with the bonus DVD of Orphan in it, because Orphan and Fear go together like peanut butter and mayo.
Cool.
As
I don't know
two
anything
things
about
of
Fear 3. How much is the Fear 3 bonus DVD version? You were talking about
Like
PS3?
yeah, it's like $10.
Oh, wow.
But the Shield version but that's Fear 3. And that thing can get up to like $70, $80. It's dumb. It's a PS3 game. Anyways, Stefan's got a game too he wants to talk about. Don't be afraid to talk about it.
I got 4 games. Why would I be afraid to talk about it? It's not fear.
Yeah.
I'll start with Maniac Mansion Day of the Tentacle. Does anyone actually call it that? Does anyone actually preface the Maniac Mansion? I mean, it's there.
It is in the title.
I've never heard anyone
it's right there in the title. No, but it is in the title. It's written.
Well, then I'm going to start a trend now. I'm only going to call it Maniac Mansion Day of the Tentacle. So, yeah, the classic and beloved point and click from LucasArts. I can't believe we haven't talked about this on a Halloween episode before. Cannot believe it.
At one point, I'm going to interject. I'm sorry, but at one point, I used to ridicule you and Tyler for bringing up PC games so much. At one point, I think I called it Stefan and Tyler's PC Power Hour, and I was like, I don't want to do this. And now I'm like, You know what? Why should I have these fucking fake guardrails on these episodes? Let's talk about all of it. So now I'm embracing it. Let's go.
So
tell me more about this beloved game no one's ever heard of.
I would hazard to guess that every single person listening to this podcast, except for maybe Kate, if she's listening, has probably played. Yes, has probably played Day of the Tentacle. Sometimes she does. It's actually
that is a bold claim considering the wide age demographic I think we appeal to.
We usually get like a half an hour out of her. She'll listen to the first half an hour. We're still she might be listening. Day of the Tentacle. Beloved point and click adventure game. One of Tim Schafer's games, I believe. Yes, Tim Schafer and Dave Grossman. But yeah, so they've got quite a few printings of this game. They released it on the 3.5 and the CD-ROM Enhanced Edition, which I'm sure means it's a talkie.
Yeah,
I can't imagine they had audio on the 3.5 version. That would be insane. Or the voice acting on their 3.5s. That would be insane. You would have like 5,000 3.5s. It'd be like a copy of OS2 Warp. Nobody gets that. You ever? No. OS2 Warp had like 100 and something floppies. So those released simultaneously. And then, but the edition that I kind of want to talk about the most is this cool triangle monolith shaped
obelisk
box.
of a game.
Yes, yes, it's the obelisk version. Excuse me, hold on. Sorry.
The triangle box, though, right? Like, but that's
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
A triangle is a two-dimensional object.
Yes, this is more of like an obelisk. I think obelisk is good. Yeah. So this is the CD-ROM version, the CD-ROM enhanced version as well. But the box is really what's the most charming thing about it. It is, as we are describing, a triangular obelisk. This also happens to be Tim Schafer's favorite version of this game, or favorite packaging. He has like 3 or 4 of them. I've seen it on his Twitter.
So to be clear, it's like a tube in the shape of a triangle. It's not like Tomb Raider where the box is just a triangle. It's like this chunky
it's not like the
3D object.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like really think of an obelisk, not like it's not like a flat thing. It is much taller than it is wide.
It's horrible.
Yes.
What retailer would ever carry this?
So if you're looking
it looks
at
like a Jenga box almost.
Yeah, if you're looking at any one front face, it looks like it's a rectangle, but it is indeed triangular if you look at it from the top. Yeah, so these go for like $150 to $200, except for the fancy pants triangle version, which is closer to $800, which is a hell of a jump.
And it's not even that's not the first print, even, right?
Yeah, no, it's at least the second printing or third printing ish. Yeah.
I've seen it described as limited release, but I don't know when it came out.
Yeah, there's also, Day of the Tentacle is also one of the most like packed in, or like not packed in, but like collected games in the LucasArts catalog. There's plenty of like, there's a Price Club multi packs and all sorts of split discs and that kind of thing that have this game on
in
it too.
The Lucas Archive. I think it's in Lucas Archives Volume 1 or 2. It's like. It's around. If you want to play Day of the Tentacle, you can go play it. Also,
it's on Steam for one. So you can
that's the remaster though. That's like the remaster. Well, maybe the original is on there too, but you can also get on PS4. But the point stands: if you want to play this game, there's plenty of cheap and easy ways to play it.
I had a demo of this game. It was like a LucasArts sampler. Actually, I think it was packed in with Loom. No, I'm thinking because I had the full version of Loom that came with my 486, and I think I got a sampler for Day of the Tentacle as well. Good stuff.
Good ones.
Yeah, go play this game. It's good. It's good stuff.
Highly recommended. CQ stamp of approval.
That's right. It's not just expensive; it's also good.
Yeah. Woo. All right, Tyler. Do you want to go to your next one?
Johnny, it's your turn. You have 5, right?
Yeah, I have 5.
Would it
We
make sense
did
to
this in the
go
last.
circle.
You know, this is also a throwback because I did this to you last time, and you're like, "Why? It doesn't make sense, Johnny. Why are you going 2 times in a row?"
Okay. All my games are computer games that now no one has ever heard of. That's not true, but shout out to anyone who has heard of these. Personal Nightmare, Johnny.
What is that?
Personal
Besides,
Nightmare
I
is
know
a
what your
game.
personal nightmare is, like me doing this to you every
episode.
single episode. Yeah.
It's a game for Amiga, Atari ST, and DOS in America. It is an adventure game developed by Horrorsoft, who is a spin-off of AdventureSoft, who you know because they developed the Elvira PC games and Waxworks. So AdventureSoft, they made a bunch of text adventure games, and don't quote me, I believe Personal Nightmare is their first point-and-click graphic adventure game. It came out in between Maniac Mansion and Monkey Island, and it did not learn any of the lessons that like made Maniac Mansion I'll call it a good game, even though I think it has some problems. It's a very early point-and-click game, which means it's bad, is what I'm trying to say, and has nonsensical puzzles.
How dare you?
But the quote-unquote cool thing about it is, for some reason, in the game, the Horrorsoft logo has Elvira in it. So when you boot up the game, it has Elvira, and then on like load screens and stuff, there's Elvira. And the American box of the game, it just says at the very top, it's almost like an author who doesn't matter at the top. It says ... a personal nightmare in just plain black text.
Box.
And then the box just says Horrorsoft with Elvira on it. And it's literally just trying to sell you the game based on Elvira. It's such a weird box.
Yeah,
it's basically
got
advertising
Elvira.
the company.
Yeah, it's got Elvira in a super chesty position.
Never.
And then the actual box art for it is like slapped onto the bottom under the logo box office. It's great. I want this game for this box. If I buy this game, I'm buying this box and not the other one.
Not the first UK print, Johnny, which I think is
No, I'm buying the cool one.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it looks creepy and atmospheric and somewhat gory, but also no one plays games anymore, so it doesn't really need to actually be a good game. And also the European box art is just like a guy screaming. It's pretty bad. So
Yep.
There's one copy in Poland. It's the American copy, the American version for $150, and then there's an incomplete UK Atari ST copy for $40. And I'm just going to say that's about the prices you would expect to pay for a game that's pretty rare and absolutely no one cares about, like Personal Nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, that's a game that they can just charge whatever because there's not that many. And if someone wants it, they are probably paying that price.
I mean, so like if the guy in Poland who has one put it just like doubled his price, he's just like, I don't know, it's $300 now. Like the same person who would buy that would probably just have to like if they really wanted it, they're probably going to eventually have to pay it. That's why people are buying these WADA games. They're just like, I bought it for $75. Is there another one for sale? All right, $8,000. Let's see if anyone pays it.
It's a perfectly, I don't want to say fine or acceptable strategy, but it is a strategy. It's a thing people do. You got any more fun facts besides like Elvira being their logo is the most awesome thing? They're like, Elvira to them was a bigger selling point than their whole game, which is amazing.
It's pretty funny. I think the plot of the game is that you're stuck in a nightmare. What a surprise. And I think your town goes mad and you have to like kill everyone in your town who's possessed by the devil. It sounds pretty grim.
Is the twist at the end that you were the one who was possessed and you just killed a bunch of innocent people? Because I'm almost 90,000% sure that that's the twist, and I've never played this game.
So I also haven't played the game, but I did watch a playthrough of the game, and I'm pretty sure, Stefan, you might have just spoiled Personal Nightmare for everyone.
How could you? It's funny because the actual other Elvira games, like the latest Elvira game, or one of them, like the Accolade one, the Elvira's Fantasy Adventure, that one's by Accolade, right? It's not even, doesn't have anything to do with these people. I'm very confused. Also, I want to bring up on this, Tyler, did you look at the discs for this game?
I did not.
So on the floppies, it's Elvira's Horror Soft. So it's not even just Horror Soft. It's Elvira's Horror Soft.
I mean, they
And that's
licensed
in
Elvira, and they're like, we're going to use it.
Yeah, Elvira's Horror Soft. Yeah, it's like in big bold letters. Man, I love Elvira.
By the way, I legitimately have not ever heard of this game before. That was obviously the plot twist.
I don't know. It doesn't look like that's the plot twist. It looks like the big bad guy is your dad.
Oh,
and then
because your father's really always the one who's been poisoning you.
And he's also the devil.
People should hire us to react to things.
Yeah. Stefan and Johnny react.
And to all our listeners, I'm sorry I spoiled a game from 1989 that no one has played and no one was going to play.
If you are buying this game, you're buying it for one reason, and that one reason is Elvira. And I'm not going to judge you for that. All right. So when you see my copy, don't judge me for it. All right. Any more?
Should I not look at your copy with the blacklight?
No, you definitely should look at my copy with the blacklight.
Oh, okay. And then judge you for it?
If you want.
Okay.
You'll just find out what restraint looks like. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. What it doesn't look like.
I'm going to move on to my game. Now, I'm just going to ignore... Stefan's making a masturbation joke for any of you not getting his subtle humor.
Oh. Like there's another.
Stefan is the master of.
That's another reaction for the catalog. What? That's my
yeah. So this is a game, and if you are listening to this, if you're following the tag I put up every year, we're in Halloween Gaming 2021. It's the first post of October. It is Ghost Hunter for the PS2. Now, what can I tell you about Ghost Hunter? It's a third-person shooter, kind of, because you can't shoot in third person. You have to go into the first person mode, and you can also become like a ghost. It is like a weird game, but it's like they call it survival horror, but I'm hesitant to like really lump it in. It's like kind of this mixed blend. But what it does have going for it is one of the coolest like promo copies I've ever seen. Like when they mail out like the media promos trying to like to reviewers and stuff, they send out this copy and it came with a creepy porcelain doll. And yeah, it's just weird. It's a porcelain doll in a cardboard box. It says like fragile and it's got blood stains all over it. The doll's got blood all over it. It's pretty gross looking. And also it's weird to get a porcelain doll in the mail. Thanks, Dan Gomez. He's the one who hooked me up with that. It's a game that got kind of like middling reviews. It tries to do some weird things, but if you've played it doesn't do anything particularly well. It sets a nice atmosphere. It does do that. It has some like good scary moments, but the actual gameplay is pretty middling. But it is in that PS2 horror, survival horror genre. And you know what that PS2 is like? It's just a survival horror machine. So this one's out there and you should buy it because it's like $50-ish right now, and it'll probably be more than that one day. It's like already going like between $50 and $80. You can find new copies still for like $200 on eBay. It's got an okay cover. It's got like this weird ghost monster, but it's all in like pretty tired looking sepia tones. The European copy, I like a little better. It's like in like moon tones, like that blue white, spectral coloring. But that's the PAL copy. It also has a little bit different stuff going on in the art. I like the PAL copy a little better, but if you're here in America, just buy the American copies.
Don't buy PAL games. Come on.
You can buy both. Buy both. I just said buy the American one. Like it's not like the box art is so much worse or so much better. You just be like, the box art on this sucks so hard. You should just go get this one. No, just go get the American one. $50 to $70. Check out my post. So you can see what that doll looks like. It's creepy because if you look at the internet, It's not going to be easy to find. So I didn't know anything about this till Super Nintendo showed me, or Modern Database showed me. Is it Modern Database or Modern Gaming Database?
Modern Database.
Okay, I thought so. And we talked about why we didn't love that. Sorry, Dan. Hard to find you. Anyways, yeah, check that out. That's it. There's not a lot to say about this game. It's like a middling survival horror game on the PS2, which has a bunch of survival horror games.
Also, you could shoot in third person. I don't know what you're smoking. This really looks like more of a shooter than a horror game. I don't know enough about it. It's what I was saying. Like, it's not. It doesn't really fit the survival horror thing perfectly. It has you switching between perspectives in the game. Like, as you creep along, you can even go into like a specter mode where you're like a ghost. It's okay. It's an okay game. What do you want? PS2 exclusive. I'm in on any exclusive, Johnny.
Yeah, it is an exclusive. So that is the place you're going to find it. That's probably the best reason to buy it right there. Thanks, Tyler.
There you go.
Thanks for your fun fact. All right. That's all I got.
Possibly before this show, I figured out what the mascot of Amstrad CPC was, and I'm like, oh, I need to buy those. Those games are definitely going to be exclusives.
Ooh.
Always buy the exclusives.
Always buy the exclusive. That's your CQ advice from Tyler tonight.
You know, good old Roland.
From Child Roll into the Dark Tower came, right?
Hey, I got that reference.
Poll. Thanks.
You can thank Kate for that one.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, Stefan.
Yeah.
Since you're speaking up, you can keep going. It's
Hey,
your turn.
Johnny.
Hey, Tyler.
Speaking of games that have atmosphere, let's
Whoa.
talk about Atmosphere, for the Super Nintendo, or as some people call it, Atmos First Encounter Assault Recon.
You just made me spit some water out.
Oh man, I almost didn't get that out. That was a good joke. Good job, Stefan. That was a good joke. Atmosphere, yes, Atmos, FEAR, for the Super Nintendo. And you might be saying to yourself, but Stefan, there was no game called Atmosphere for the Super Nintendo.
It's definitely not.
And you would be right, Voice. It was it only made it to prototype. It made it to pretty late in the prototype phase, though. It looks like it was just about done. You can play it. It's one of those games that you can go on Etsy and buy yourself a cartridge, as Tyler is apt to do 100% of the time. He loves to do that. He buys bootleg cartridges.
Stop it. Don't do that. Download it illegally off the internet like you're supposed to.
Yeah. So it is a looks like a pretty decent. I have not played it. Watched some videos. It looks like a pretty decent platformer. I don't know.
It's okay,
It says it's based off the board game. I don't know.
You're like a kid with a yo-yo as a weapon, but the fire distance is a little bit too short, so it makes the game kind of unnecessarily difficult.
I have not played the Atmosphere VHS/DVD/ maybe Blu-ray by this point board game in a very long time. Someone who has should probably play this game and then at me and tell me if it really is based off the board game in any significant way, because it claims it is. I don't know that that's true. I did see like some splash screens that were similar to the art in the board game, but I think they may have just thrown that in there so they could see it's based off the board game.
Maybe. Did how many versions of the game do you have?
Of Atmosphere?
Yep.
I have the VHS copy.
Okay.
So, I don't really play that a whole lot.
Do you have the original version, Nightmare?
Was that the first version, or did it become
Nightmare?
Did it become Nightmare, or did it become Atmosphere?
Atmosphere had a DVD copy, so that's how I know it's the later version.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure this was a board James Rolfe thing had a video on one of these, or maybe it was the Dark Tower.
I think he did.
Game?
I think he may have done done a VHS board game episode.
I've never played any of them. I want to.
Anyway,
let's get together and play some Atmosphere.
Not the video game, of course. The cost for the Super Nintendo game is $0, or as much as you want to give someone to make you a fake copy.
$40 and $60, depending on how complete you want it.
Yeah, there you go. So spend that money on something, or don't, or just download it and play it for free.
Or be like me and be a dummy and buy a box for your purple cartridge, because that's the most Halloween. Because I wanted to post it in my Halloween games last year.
Purple cartridge, a euphemism for?
For Purple Ganon. It's the same thing.
For your eggplant wizard?
Yes, absolutely, for my eggplant wizard, because I'm Italian.
All right, that's all I got. I'm stretch this out long enough. Someone take the rent. Someone take the reins from me quickly.
Okay, Tyler, back to you.
This is my coolest game. All my games are computer games, by the way, Johnny. This is the coolest one, though, I think. Phantom Slayer for the TRS-80, also ported to the Dragon 32/64.
Hold on, Phantom Slayer? What the hell is this?
Phantom Slayer. So it's a 3D maze game by Med Systems, who is a company that, as far as I could tell, just iterated on 3D maze games for a few years and then disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't think any of their games are super well known. They made, I think Death Maze 5000 was one, and Asylum was another, and I don't remember the other ones off the top of my head. But
is this American? Is this what is this?
It's an American guy from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, right down the road from me, an hour and a half away.
Oh, from your hometown, where you native North Carolinians live.
Yes,
Carolinians.
We all live here in Raleigh.
In a yellow submarine.
So I think I don't know a lot about the other games. I think they're more like adventure kind of exploration, and like, I need to get the card and give the card to the inmate who's an axe murderer, and then he does something for me. This is almost, it's kind of a first-person shooter. So you're in a 3D maze with phantoms who are creepy, faceless guys in robes, and they always know where you are and take the most direct path towards you. And the object of the game is to run around the maze, and it's in real time, but you take one tile at a time, as you would expect a TRS-80 game to be. And you have to find the phantoms and shoot them before they find you, because if they step on top of you, you just instantly die. And then after you shoot them, you can press a button and it shows you a map of the entire maze. So you can run away or hunt down the phantoms or whatever. And the horror part of the game, besides the fact that you're getting stalked in a maze by creepy guys with no faces, there's no sound, I don't think, except when a phantom gets within 4 tiles of you, there's just a tone that plays. So it's the tone that's like, oh, fuck, you're about to die. So figure out, where the phantom is. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's really cool. That's why I said it's my coolest game. I've seen it called both the first color FPS, whatever the fuck that counts for, and the first commercial FPS, which is probably debatable for a million reasons, because the history of first-person shooters has all these different points. I don't know. This is more of a maze game than a first-person shooter to me, but it could be considered a first-person shooter. I could not find a sale of the American TRS-80 version. There are 2 versions of the Dragon 32 version in the UK. The original release is just a text cover that says Phantom Slayer. It's worth, $25. It's one sale of it. And then there's a version that has the guy in the robe on it, which sold for $4 on eBay Solds.
Whoa.
And those are the only 2 copies I saw for sale that had sold.
Med Systems also made a game called Monkey Kong for the TRS-80. Anyone want to guess what that's a port of?
3D maze
clone?
Game.
Yes. No, absolutely. No, it is a 1-to-1 recreation of fucking Donkey Kong.
They can't be getting away with this.
It looks like they did.
1983 is a different time.
Is it a different time?
Curse you, Ken Kalish.
Hey, that's Donkey Kong. Wow.
Yeah, it's straight up.
And he put on the title screen, it's just Monkey Kong by Ken Kalish. It's here's me. If you need to sue me, I made this game.
I clearly made this game. No one else.
I love it.
People
good stuff.
People were brave.
Good stuff.
I'm going on eBay. I'm looking for a copy of Monkey Kong right now. We're going to do it live.
I'm gonna beat you to it.
Are there no copies?
Oh.
I'm not surprised there are no copies of Monkey Kong.
So would you say that this is the coolest game on the TRS-80?
Phantom Slayer?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably not. TRS-80 has some cool stuff, Johnny.
Yeah, that was like the Tandy, right? I had one of those.
Yeah.
I own a game for the Tandy.
I do too.
Oh, a game. Wow.
I own
have
a
Ace.
singular game.
What game?
I have Ace. Oh, good.
And it is like literally one of my favorite, most coolest games. Like collecting games.
Hitchhiker's
It's
Guide
Poltergeist.
to the Galaxy.
Poltergeist. Yeah, Poltergeist. For the Tandy. From 1982. Woo! It's not one of my official games, but if you want to find it, it's on the TRS-80 and could be $60, could be $150 if you get it complete in box.
Dude. Computer,
Just,
like
good
rare
luck.
computer games, you can't even price them. They're just,
Yeah.
whoever's looking for it today is the price.
That was me last year, and I got lucky and found one. Like I was fighting with a guy over the $300 price tag, and then wound up finding one for $75, and I felt great about it. Couldn't pay fast enough. And the reason like that's cool is because Poltergeist, the house from Poltergeist, was filmed in the city I live in. So I got to
too.
go to the Poltergeist. Yeah, Stefan too, because we live in the same city. But I got to go there and take a picture of my game with that house. It was fun.
I have a tree on my property that's eerily similar, likely the same kind of tree, but eerily similar to the tree on that property.
Yeah, it's haunted. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Haunted trees. All right. Shall I go for my actual game, or do we want to keep
Yes.
talking about
Your actual
haunted
game,
trees?
which is Monkey Kong?
Yeah, Monkey Kong, a horror title by a guy who
I mean, it's horror something, horrible. Know what I'm saying?
Ah,
got him. Is that what we're doing?
I
right
got
now?
you, Ken Kalish.
Yeah, got him. No,
he
I'm
goes.
going to talk about Master of Darkness. And I hope you like this game three ways because it's got three stupid titles. Hey, if I said Master of Darkness, maybe that means nothing to you. But if I said Vampire Master of Darkness, then are you like, oh, I know that game. You're like, yeah, that's the one. But then there's also another name, and it is, and I want to make sure I get this right because the writing isn't great. In the Wake of Vampire, not the Vampire, of Vampire. In the Wake of Vampire for the Game Gear, out of Japan. This is a Castlevania clone. This is basically Castlevania. It's awesome. The European Sega Master System game looks great. The box art, like, it looks like a Castlevania box art. If you looked at that and didn't know, you'd be like, oh, that's Castlevania for 100%. That's Castlevania. If you looked at the gameplay, you would be like, yeah, that's Castlevania, except that this person has a sword, and they are... Well, let me first tell you some of the details. Okay, so in Wake of the Vampire, that's Game Gear. Vampire Master of Darkness, also Game Gear. That's Game Gear in Europe and America. Those games are $130 for the Europe, or $150 to $180 for either the European or US Game Gear. The Japanese one in Wake of Vampire is like $250-ish. And there's not that many complete copies. Carts you can get for like $60, but I'm trying to just talk complete in box here. The Master System one, if you want to find that complete in box, and this is not released in America, so it's European only, it's about $130. But the European box art is so cool, and the story is kind of crazy because there's all these crimes. You're in Europe, specifically like London, and you see all these crimes that are being committed, and it looks like it's Jack the Ripper. And plot twist, because remember, this is about a vampire and specifically Dracula. The plot twist is the murderer is Jack the Ripper.
what?
You're like, that's not a plot twist. That's what we thought. Except that Jack the Ripper is trying to bring back Dracula. He's killing these to make Dracula come back and get his castle going.
And he's your dad.
Yeah,
and he was
and he's
possessed
your
by the
dad.
devil the whole time?
Yeah. And, it was a dream all along, all the cliches. So go check this game out. If you haven't, this is one of those games, if you haven't checked it out and you own any Sega stuff, it's a game that's kind of expensive, but doesn't get any kind of recognition when it should get more. People always call it, oh, it's the Castlevania clone. And yeah, I guess so. But it's also awesome. So go take a look at it. The box art. If you're just looking at box art, it's got great box art on all the copies, except for the Japanese Game Gear one, which is stupid because it's just a picture of Big Ben and, oh God, what's the statue with the horse that's right next? It's just like merged onto there. It's like someone just got by Big Ben and like took a picture and they're like, oh, let's add some coloring in here. Purple and orange. Yeah, cool. Like it's like a picture I would take if I was being a tourist, but for some reason it's the box art. It's like a real picture. I don't understand. Not good. The Game Gear box art isn't great. Get the Master System one. That one looks sweet. Also, the only thing bad about it is the Master System one. Like, it clearly looks like the protagonist on the box should have a whip. Instead, he's got this dumb sword. And you're just like, that looks wrong. And it's because you think he should have a whip and not that dumbass sword. They even drew the sword badly, like on purpose. Like, the person doing it being like, this should just be a whip. Like, they couldn't convince themselves to draw it correctly.
Johnny, I don't think you can change the perception of this game because it's just going to be one of those games like, oh yeah, that's the Castlevania game. You have to make a popular YouTube video in which you argue for the game, and then you can change the perception of it. Because like Dracula X on Super Nintendo, it's always going to be like, oh, that's the bad Rondo of Blood. So unless you make a YouTube video that changes that perception, mentioning it on a podcast isn't going to help, Johnny. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not trying to change the perception. I'm just saying that even though that's the perception, it doesn't mean that it's a bad game. Go play it.
Why would I play it when someone on YouTube can tell me how it is? Also, no one plays games, Johnny. Fuck it. Come on. Who plays games?
That's true.
Don't play your games.
That's fair enough.
Hashtag don't play your games.
Hashtag put it on the shelf and better yourself. All right. That's it. Anyone else want to hear anything more about Master of Darkness?
Nope.
It's pretty awesome. It's an awesome game. Go get it.
Sorry, did you see the price? Did I just not hear you say the
price?
Yeah,
no, it's about 130 for the Master System one, the one you should buy. Get it complete.
What's
awesome
the 280?
Cover.
What's the
280 is the Japanese Game Gear game, the one that's a picture of Big Ben. If you want a $200 picture of Big Ben, this is the one for you. Get In Wake of Vampire. Bad title. Anyways, that's all I got on that game. That's 3 games for 1.
Huh. Well, then you're just done for the show, right? That's 5.
That's it. Yeah. Well, and I also did Poltergeist, so I'm at 4 right now. So it's someone else's turn. Stefan.
Is that me? Is that my turn?
It's you. Yeah.
Oh my God. Why? She knows I'm podcasting. Why would she call me?
I mean, don't call attention to it and just move on.
That's right. So let's talk about BioShock Limited Edition for the 360.
Woo whoop.
Genuinely love this game. If you have never played this game, you should. But there's also better ways to play it now, like more. They did remasters.
BioShock collection.
Such.
Oh no, they made a PC version when it came out, Stefan. It was awesome.
Yes. But and actually, I think that version, which doesn't matter, is actually I think more expensive. The limited edition. But anyway, we're talking about the 360. $150, $200. It's one of the best first-person shooters ever, I think. Right? One of them up there.
Yeah. I BioShock is one of my most favorite modern games.
The reason why I thought that this was a fun thing to bring up was the fun fact. The fun fact, this guy came with a little Big Daddy statue in which the drill hand was very delicate and a not insignificant number of them broke.
Like almost all of them.
Yes. So actually, I'm in my hot little hand right now as I'm talking to you. I have a unbroken Big Daddy statue that I bought firsthand at the time of launch. But joke's on me, because if you essentially sent in after you had received a broken Big Daddy statue, they would send you a free art book, and that art book is now what is really rare and expensive.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So, because, virtually nobody, to scale, nobody bothered to, do that, right? to send in for this art book. So yeah, they're like 175. I think there's one on eBay right now. You can pull the trigger for 175. But yeah, they're around, $150, $200, for this art book, that you could only get if you wrote in after your Big Daddy statue shipped broken.
That's kind of annoying.
Yes.
Because I have mine also not broken.
Yeah, joke's on us.
Yep. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Art books suck.
Art books suck. Right on, Johnny. I'm 100%
Here
on
you
board
like,
with that.
yeah. Like, I got one for, I think, Dead Space, and I'm just like, why? Stop giving me, where am I supposed to put these? Get out of here.
Something that I think is witty about that art book is because they made the art book specifically to replace these broken Big Daddy statues. So on the top of the cover, it says "Breaking the Mold."
It's kind of funny. Kind of funny.
Yeah. Good job. Good stuff.
All right, you did it.
BioShock's cool, guys. Unpopular opinion: BioShock's a cool game.
Is that it? Yeah, is that an unpopular opinion? Yeah, I got all the trophies on that game, or achievements, including play it on hard, and I think don't save.
I do love
Don't
BioShock,
die.
but even if I didn't, I couldn't tell you that. I am legally obligated to like that game.
Is it because you work at 2K? Is it a 2K game? It is, right?
It is a 2K game, yes.
Okay. Guys, the System Shock games are super.
So good. They are super good.
So good. Epic Mickey too, real good. Anybody know the connection there?
No, tell me what's the connection?
War Inspector.
Would you kindly tell me the
War Inspector made both those games, System Shock and Epic Mickey.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Would you kindly let Tyler move on to his next game?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is Johnny going? All right. My last game is the game that I picked because I didn't have an interesting last game. Guys, it's The Evil Dead. They made an Evil Dead video game. And I know what you're thinking. Wait.
You mean for the Dreamcast?
Yeah, I know what you think. I could think of 1 or 2 Evil Dead video games. What do you mean they made an
Probably
Evil Dead
6.
video game? They made 6 Evil Dead video games. The first one was for the BBC Micro and Commodore 64, also ported to the ZX Spectrum. That's what's interesting about this. It's the first Evil Dead game. It came out in I didn't write it down. 1984, I'm going to say. It was 3 years after the movie, I think, which seems crazy to me, but I know Evil Dead 2 probably came out sometime, so why not? And it was basically the same movie, so you could just, the gameplay could just be the same thing, and you could have called it Evil Dead 2. You play as Ash running around it's like a top-down view of the cabin, and you're there with your friends, and they get possessed by demons, and then you murder them with weapons that you find.
That's
I guess
nice of you.
What?
That's nice of you.
Yeah. It's you find weapons like swords and stuff will spawn in, and then you hit your things, or you hit your friends and they explode. And I guess the interesting gimmick is that when you hit them, they can turn into body parts, like there'll be a disembodied head or like just their arms, and they'll keep coming after you. And that sounds cool, but it's kind of cartoony and it's not gory, so I didn't think it was as cool as it sounds describing it like this. In 2004, here's my fun fact. In 2004, Retro Gamer magazine said, "It's fun for about 5 minutes anyway."
Oh, good.
Good
Got 'em.
fact, Tom.
That is literally a fun fact, in that it involved the word fun.
Yes, I did
Good
go
job.
to the Wikipedia page for the Evil Dead for the BBC Micro and Commodore 64. How did you know? There's 2 on eBay right now. There's one's like $30 as an auction, one's a buy it now unsold for
You're gonna buy
there's
one?
60 pounds.
Is there going to only be one after the show, Tyler? Are you going to buy one? You buy one?
I bought the
buy it?
Spectrum version, Stefan, because
while we were sitting here.
the Spectrum
Before the
version did not have a standalone release. It was released on the B side of a game called Cauldron. And that version is only £7, and it seems more common than the standalone releases. So I just went and bought one of those.
£7. That's only like $400.
Sure.
£7.
When I was a kid, you like doubled it, and now it's somehow less, and I don't know how much. But remember, everyone, when you're
50%.
buying British games, just convert pounds to dollars 1-to-1, and you'll feel like you're spending less money. So I spent $7 on that.
Good savings.
Yeah. And we're just
So
not
just
going to
lie to
include the
yourself and
shipping
you'll
and
feel better.
importer fees. It's just good.
It's a good one. I like it.
Hmm.
All right.
Go get the Evil Dead. It's a key movie that once the VHS sells for $4,000, you guys are going to be sorry you don't have the $30 BBC micro game.
That is true. I am going to be sorry
Whew.
about that. Stefan,
Yeah.
go ahead and go.
Yeah.
Do your last
Oh.
one.
Oh, well, thank
gonna
you
jump
so much,
order.
Johnny. It's very
Yeah.
kind of you.
I'm going to jump
Yeah.
order. Would you kindly go?
I'll remember this. Sure. Yeah, sure. Risky Woods
What? That's risky.
for the Genesis.
It's a risky pick. Why?
Yeah, it's a fun little platformer there. Actually, it's not. It's pretty difficult actually, but it is a platform game. It has definitely some heavy Halloween spooky themes. I think probably primarily because it's really trying hard to be ghouls and ghosts or ghosts and goblins. You pick either one. Doesn't matter. It's either one. You even like start out with like no armor, and then you like get powered up and you put on some armor. Just like some ghouls and ghosts.
Would you say it's a game where there are some flying red devils around, just like Ghosts and Goblins?
Yes, and you throw weapons that you wouldn't normally throw, just like Ghosts and Goblins. You know.
So you're saying it's kind of like Ghosts and Goblins?
Is it
It's
hard
a
as
little bit
balls,
like Ghosts
kind of
and
like
Goblins.
Ghosts and Goblins?
It is a little bit like Ghosts and Goblins.
Huh, weird.
It's about a crisp hundo bill.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't think does this thing have a poster, Johnny? Do you know?
I don't know offhand if it has a poster or not.
Yeah. Anyway, so about $100. My fun fact is I know the guy that made it. Steve Wetherill used to work. Formerly I was at Mobilityware, a mobile game development studio, and during my tenure there, Steve Wetherill was the technical director or VP of tech. Anyway, he was leading tech, and it was funny because I had just kind of accidentally like saw his name in the instruction manual, and then like put two and two together, and just like brought the game into the office one day. I'm like, "Is this you?" And
Did you do this?
yeah. So, and it was, this was, back in the day when like Steve, when I say like Steve made this game, he made the game. Like it was all him. And yeah, there was actually a pretty sweet picture of him. This was back when game devs were all rock stars, and there's a picture of him in the back, like shirtless with sunglasses in the back of the manual. So I absolutely scanned that and distributed it all over the office, which he was very appreciative of. Yeah, so that's my fun fact on Risky Woods. It's, if you like Ghosts and Goblins, you've already played this game.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
What a stunning review you've given us. I definitely don't
Thank
want to
you.
go play Risky Woods now.
Stunning review of my friend's game.
It's got a
I'm
cool
sorry,
cover.
Steve. I know you will never ever listen to this, but just in case, I apologize.
Yeah. I like the cover of the game.
Yeah, it's got.
I have
black
posted it
dragon-y
before
thing.
on my Halloween games, so that's a thing.
Would you call that a dragon, a demon? What are you calling that?
Not a dragon, I don't think. Maybe a monster, demon. Sure.
Good stuff.
Stuff.
It's not fun. Like it's just it is what it is. It's definitely achieved what it was trying to be, which is Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah, it's not as cool as Master of Darkness, which is trying to be Castlevania and doing a better job.
That was
with
my
better
last
box
game.
arts. All right.
I have nothing left in my brain to talk about tonight.
That's untrue. We'll get you some stuff. Guys, okay, so I've cheated since we talked about Poltergeist, and that put me at 4 games already. And then I have like 2, and I could cut 1, but I don't know. I could talk about Michigan. So that's not the name of the game. It's Michigan, Report from Hell for the PS2. Have you guys heard of this game?
No.
I actually have, and I haven't heard of any PlayStation games. All of them don't exist.
Yeah. So the fun thing about this is it's a game about a reporter and the stuff that's happening, in Michigan, right? And the game takes place mainly through the viewfinder of a camera. And if you run out of film before you solve the mystery, the game ends. That's how so you're a reporter, and that's what's going on. You've got the camera on, you're reporting, but this game was not released in America, despite being called Michigan Report from Hell. Despite being called that, didn't make it to the States. Made it to Australia, made it to Europe and Japan. Didn't come out here though. So in Japan, it got like middling reviews, only sold like 30,000 copies. Did okay in Europe, but same kind of stuff. People say it's like an interesting game if you've watched any of the footage, which I've only done. I have not played this myself, but it is in the survival horror genre, and it's a PlayStation 2 game. And it's super expensive, actually. You can buy the Japanese one, which didn't sell that many copies. 30,000 for a PS2 game is like nothing. It might as well have sold 0 copies if you're a PS2 game. But it's still like a $30 game that you can get everywhere in Japan, like from all the Japanese resellers. However, if you want the PAL one, and here, PAL games are such a mess because the pricing is all over. Like, you can get the French one, and that's a little bit better than getting like the Italian one. Like, it's a little more expensive than the Italian one, but like not quite as expensive as the one from Spain. But really, the one you want is the one from is the UK one, because that's in English, and that one's the most expensive. So the game can run from about $800 and like $300 to $800, and that is a price jump from the last time I priced this game out, like 2 years ago, when I was gonna buy it and didn't for whatever reason. It was like $250 to $300. Now it's like $300 to $800 is the price range now. So it's a crazy jump. Don't know
I
why.
might go get the Japanese copy after hearing you say that, Johnny.
Yeah. So yeah, you should. So it's, again, like, seriously, you can pick it up $25-$30, no problem, all day long. The Japanese one is just called Michigan too. So I mean, I'm sure it has Report from Hell, but that's the Japanese part of the text. But it says just in English on the cover, Michigan. I don't know which cover I would say is better. Maybe the Japanese one, though the European one gives you a better idea of what's going on, because the font is gigantic on it, and it puts like the viewfinder on it, and it shows the shadow of the cameraman and some blood and like some lightning. So you kind of get more of an idea of what's happening with the European cover, but the Japanese cover is spookier, I guess. I don't know. It's definitely going to be like personal preference here. If you like minimalism versus like in your face, this is directly what the game is. I still want a PAL copy. I don't have one, but go get it. Very collectible game, especially in the PAL territories. All right.
Why is it called Michigan? So this is a Grasshopper game.
Yep. Published by Square.
I don't see Suda51 in the credits, Goichi Suda, and he is a weird dude. So he's the guy who made like Killer 7 and No More Heroes. He likes weird things. But I don't know Michigan. I don't know how involved he was in this game, and he's just like, what's a weird place? Michigan. Not like Death Valley Report from Hell or Chernobyl Report from Hell. Just like, let's make a game in Chicago. I hear there's gun violence there.
Yeah, I have family from Michigan, and they would tell you it's hell. And my mom's side of the family is all from Michigan. Yeah, they would say it could be a hellscape. So maybe they're not wrong. Depends what part of Michigan you're in. It's the mutative virus is coming out of the United States from Michigan. So yeah, like I said, I have not played it myself enough to understand exactly the nuance of that. But
Is Michigan where the CDC is? I'm making that up. Where is that?
I
thought maybe
Atlanta.
that could be a thing. Oh, okay.
Come on. That's
Sorry.
Walking Dead thing, right? They go to the CDC.
yes, they do. And
I mean, the CDC is a real thing. It's not like from The Walking Dead.
yeah, that made up.
Clear.
Hey, look,
Yo, the CDC, isn't that from The Walking Dead?
I was going to say the CDC is reports only on fiction, depending on what side of the argument you're on.
Hey-o.
Hey, let's not talk about politics. All right.
The Japanese version is just called Michigan. Did you say that? I didn't.
I did.
Catch that.
Yeah, totally
That's
did.
amazing.
Yeah, just called Michigan. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, go check that game out. So I said weird that came out everywhere but here, and it's called Michigan. You're just like, the game called Michigan didn't come out in the United States? Huh. That's
Tyler,
my fun
actually,
fact.
in Japan, it's called Michigan Fear and Counter Assault Recon.
Really tried to make that one work, huh?
I did. I even fucked it up. I don't know if anyone caught that, but I said Fear Encounter.
Yeah.
I caught it. Don't worry.
Okay.
I got the idea. Also, God damn it, when you search for just Michigan on Yahoo Japan, you get a lot of results.
Really? You don't say. You search for Michigan and
I really
other
want
stuff comes up.
a Michigan State University T-shirt for $40 from Japan. That's
Is
what
it
I
in
was
Japanese? Because
looking for.
that would be sweet. I'd be into that. No, it's not.
Nope. Okay. So as of right this moment, if we're counting Poltergeist, I've talked about 13 games. Do we want to count it? I think we should count it as 13 right there. It's a good number.
Sure.
Because I think we're
always
going to
get to
cover the next one. No, the next one, if we talked about the next one, we're going to get to it in the next episode. So we definitely don't need to.
I have a game we could talk about.
No, we got 13.
One more.
We're good.
Okay.
We got the 13. Go find
good one.
Poltergeist on the Tandy.
It's not on your fucking list.
Oh, well, this list is not a complete thing. It's growing and developing. So if you want, you can go ahead and add it.
I'm gonna grow it. I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grow and develop your list.
When you say it like that, it sounds gross. It sounds like you're doing something wrong to my list. Anyways, guys,
Very right.
we talked about 13 Halloween games. I tried to keep it together and not be totally weird. Did it work out? Yeah. No?
It's definitely weird.
Was it weird? Energy was still weird?
Why
tried
is
to,
this episode so weird, Johnny? I just can't get over it.
I don't know.
I've been talking a lot. That's weird. I don't usually talk this much.
I mean, that probably means our ratings are going down.
Uh.
We don't get ratings, Stefan. That's a joke. We know it.
That's true.
It's like no one's rating us. All right, guys, are you ready to take the collector's question portion of the show to the next level?
We're moving on to the second half of the show, which gets longer every time.
Second 50%.
Add
Yeah.
sections to it.
Holy shit! We're doing pretty good on time. I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's Tyler? You got that question for us?
No, I always forget this part of the show
Fuck!
exists.
This is the
Okay.
part you added to the show.
It's
I
a
don't know
good
why
part. If
I'm
you
overreacting,
had, this is from Clearvis, if you had infinite money to buy one gaming item you've seen but didn't buy, what would it be? Stefan,
Shout out to all the people who think I do have infinite money, by the way.
why do you have infinite money? This is ridiculous.
I'm sorry, I was not listening.
If you had infinite money to buy one gaming
someone
item
who
you've
has
seen
infinite
but didn't
money
buy, what are you
does.
talking about?
As someone who has infinite money, I was not listening.
If you had infinite money, what would you be buying? What one gaming item would you buy if money was no object?
I mean, I would probably honestly start like buying
Just one item. One thing.
One thing.
Nintendo. Does that work?
Johnny,
Can I
can
do
you give
that?
us a real answer to
Infinite
this
money. Infinite
video
money,
game
you
question?
said. Jesus Christ.
It's a gaming item, not a fucking publisher.
Okay, fine. What do I want? Probably some ridiculous arcade game, like
It'd probably be a mech game.
yeah. I'd probably buy. I mean,
Stefan does have infinite money. What a surprise. He bought it.
well, I used to have that stuff, but I'd probably that's actually what I do. I would probably be rebuying all my virtual world cockpits because like there are a very select few people who have them. But if I had infinite money, I could just like throw that money at them and get my cockpits back, and then also be able to like have a more than adequate space for them.
Man, the jokes I want to make about you being a cockpit is just right there. It's right there in front of me, and I'm not going to do it.
Just reach out, take it.
No, ew. I don't want it. Tyler, you take it.
What?
Come on, Moose.
Go.
Am I answering the question, Johnny?
Answer the goddamn question.
Answer the question,
I thought
Moose.
Stefan was
No,
going to
you know what? I don't want you to
answer
answer it anymore. No, I'm done.
Oh my god.
No, Moose. If you had infinite money, what's the one gaming item you'd buy?
I can't think of something that I've been prevented in getting because there's always like an alternative.
Because you have infinite money?
Because I have infinite money.
aristocrat?
No, because if I if I can't get something, I'll be like, all right, I'll just get the cart, whatever. So my answer, which I thought Stefan was going to steal, would be a Sega R360, which was an early 90s Sega arcade cabinet that it only ran like 2 games. It was like G-Lock and something else.
Yeah.
But it like flipped you upside down, tilted you. It looked cool as hell. And the games did not match how cool the actual hardware was. I think I've talked about this on the show before, but I looked into the power requirements, like just the power requirements of running one of these in your house. You'd have to like get special hookups to your house. Completely unfeasible to actually own one. Plus there's only so many on Earth that still work. And it would be super dangerous because it has all these spheres, these interlocked spheres that would chop your limbs off if you mess up somehow, and the safety systems don't work.
You ever play that game, Tyler?
It was in the Fun Zone at Farmingdale on Long Island. I can't remember if I ever actually played it, but I remember every time I went to the arcade, I saw it.
Yeah, like that's $3. I'm not.
It had a fucking attendant, and there was always a line for it. Oh, it was so cool.
Yeah, the arcade back when they had an arcade that was worth a damn. The arcade at Disneyland had one, and that's I played that.
You mean the Starcade?
Yes.
The Starcade. Come on, get it right.
Yes, the Starcade.
All right. Well, I've got an answer to this question, and I'm going to give you the most basic answer. Sorry, everybody.
You're a basic bitch.
That's fine. I would just buy a Nintendo World Championship gold card.
Wow, you're lame as hell, Johnny.
That is lame. That's dumb.
Damn,
No,
that's like me
I've
saying,
always
"Oh,
wanted
about
a-
stadium
wrong answer.
events."
No, I've always wanted a gold. I've always wanted a gold. I've always told you I think it's cooler than stadium events. I think it's cooler than the gray. I think those are dumb. The gold one is awesome.
Get my temperature. My temperature is rising.
You're like,
you know
I
what?
would buy a cockpit even though I already am one.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Do you know who did
There it
have
is.
infinite money and probably had a Sega R360? Michael Jackson. So I'm just saying, I've got the best taste.
Does
Different taste
Hold
in
on,
sexual
hold on.
partners.
Tyler just equated himself to Michael Jackson, who has obviously always been known for his good taste.
Yeah, he was tasting stuff. All right.
All right. Well,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Well, now we know why Tyler doesn't have kids
Look, you
because
just
he's
made a
legally
cockpit
not allowed to
joke.
have
Shut
them.
Look, I already legally disclosed this before coming on the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
We're
He's
coming
told
on the
all of his
podcast.
neighbors. They're cool with it.
They're just like, when's he going to get some more arcade games? I need to send my kids over there.
Oh God.
You're not helping the
Stop.
joke at all. Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I was having fun.
Oh, man. We have another question.
Okay.
Quick.
What's more painful, buying 10 $100 games or one $1,000 game?
One
Asks
$1,000
Kyle
game.
Collects.
What's more
1,000.
painful?
Yeah,
What is
one
more
$1,000
painful?
game.
No, disagree. Hard disagree.
Oh, really?
For me, it's one $1,000 game because the 10, I'm like breaking it up and I'm excited.
Yeah.
Each one is like a dopamine hit. You only get that one hit from the $1,000 game, and I get the same dopamine hit from a $20 game I want. So yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Johnny is exactly correct. The $1,000 game is probably better, quote unquote, for my collection. I would be
Oh, yeah.
happier in the long run,
Yep.
probably, with the
Yep.
more expensive game.
What-
But oh yeah, I'm gonna get $100 games every time. if you're
Tyler
giving me
just
that
came
option.
around to my answer.
No,
Yeah, which
we
is the
said
correct
what is harder for us. I'm not saying what is the right answer. We're not talking about the right way to collect. $1,000 game in your like we're set collectors. Clearly, we've been making the wrong decisions over and over and over and over and over again.
That's fair.
as evidenced by our full sets, multiple.
I don't know. Maybe not at the. Maybe not. Maybe I agree with you at the $100 where like the lower tier is $100 because then like the stuff is still pretty cool. From like if you bump that down a little, like a level, like a $500 game versus $50 games, like chances are those $50 games are going to be shitty or like I genuinely don't care about them. That's where I went immediately with the question is just like chances are the $1,000 object or the $1,000 game I'm going to care about more than the 10 lesser games.
Yeah,
the
so-
I mean, I think when you get to the cheap stuff, then it becomes harder. But like $100, you're probably getting 10 bangers for $100 each.
Yeah, so like back in the
Get two
day
Fester's
on
Quests.
like imagine on Super Nintendo, back when Earthbound was like the $800 game, but you
Sure.
could buy Zelda, like boxed, like CIBs, Zelda, Super Mario World, Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3. What's the better purchase?
In that context, I would agree. Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
see, boom. Or like, oh, I bought Hagan. Okay, cool. Hagane, got it. Or I got all these other awesome games. Yeah.
Kyle does say the $100 games, $100 games is harder because he has to convince himself 10 times to spend $100, whereas when you spend $1,000, you could just rip the Band-Aid off, and it's like, okay, I did it. And then after you did it, you could just ignore that all that money's gone, which
Ooh, that's interesting.
is a
I
good
don't wanna-
argument, I think.
That-
But also,
that's like-
over the past 2 years, money just doesn't matter to me. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be more
Because
expensive
you
in
have
10
infinite
years, right?
money, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't want to sound like one of those guys who's got like just money to blow, but
Well, we
you know,
all
like,
have
how-
infinite money now. So.
All right, Fat Cat Tyler. I'm officially transferring the mantle.
Okay. So anyways, yeah, I can see his point, but I do also agree with Tyler that in the last couple of years, when the value of games is all like, it's all like meaningless. It's expensive or really expensive. So it's like, okay, whatever. Like if you're in this hobby and you're completing box and you're buying nice stuff, like $1,000 isn't even like a good water graded game anymore. Like not a sealed one. So
Sad. Yeah.
Can't get a
Yeah.
Bioshock for $1,000.
you can't get a GTA or a Tomb Raider.
That's our
even
questions for
All
the
right.
day, guys.
All right, well then let's move on to the part where Stefan says, "I don't buy games anymore, peasants." And let's do that. Let's talk about what
Wait
we're
a
buying
minute.
and what
No,
we're
it's
playing.
That was totally Tyler this time. Tyler was disparaging the pores.
I don't think you should call them the pores, either of you.
Wait, yeah, you're the one who just called them the pores. And what's
You always
this
call them
us
the
versus
pores.
them you're creating here?
Yeah.
I'm not creating it.
We are-
I'm not
well,
creating it.
hey,
What
hey,
is this? Why is
hold-
everyone
Ty-
turning on me? This
Stefan.
is not okay.
Stefan, not everybody on this podcast is a weirdo elitist art collector.
No, just Tyler.
No, just you. It's just you.
He's a weirdo elitist.
Here, watch this. Watch this. Hey, Tyler.
He's a weirdo elitist.
Hey.
Tyler, you ever spent more than $10,000 on a game?
I've never spent more than $10,000 on anything, Johnny.
Stefan?
You
Wanna answer
you
this
came
question?
Close buying a game from me.
Stefan, care to answer?
No, I've never. No, that's not true. I have spent more than $10,000 on a game.
Or a gaming item or
Yeah.
ancillary product like art? No?
You know what Stefan sounds like?
What just happened? I just. How often are you singing Michael Jackson songs in your home?
I mean, like in my car,
Yeah.
you know,
You're
Beat It
just like,
Comes On or
"Smooth
Thriller.
Criminal. You're just over there doing that?
I don't like
I was
Smooth
like,
Criminal.
I
think Alien
willed
Ant
that to
Farm
happen,
is-
Johnny. We were like too focused on me, and I'm like, I just willed Tyler to
weirdo.
to do something.
You're like, please
that was
suck all
so
the negative
weird.
attention
yeah,
away from me.
exactly. Just like, please do something, Tyler.
Tyler bailed you out. You should thank
He
him.
did. Yeah.
That was really weird, Tyler.
It was super weird.
I mean, I don't want to disparage you because it was also awesome, but I was not prepared.
I'm all about those callbacks, Johnny. Those callbacks to a conversation 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. What's your favorite Michael Jackson song there, guy?
It's just Thriller. Okay, what am I gonna? I don't have fucking.
What an appropriate answer for this
bitch.
episode. Thriller's a great song. I said it's an appropriate answer for this episode as well.
Oh, was that why you asked me?
Yes.
All right.
Hey, did it. All right. Guys, what are you buying? What are you playing? Stefan, have you recovered? Are you okay to go?
Yeah, I don't think I bought anything.
Okay.
Like legit, I don't think I bought anything. Let me hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me make sure. I bought a couple board games. Does anyone want to hear about the board games I bought?
Nope. No,
okay.
not at all.
Let's see. What else? See if I bought anything else. I just bought a copy of that game that I wanted to talk about. But you wouldn't let me. I bought a couple T-shirts, gaming T-shirts.
It's okay for the people to hear that you just didn't buy something. You don't need to search for it. You can be like, I didn't buy any games this time.
But I didn't buy any games, but I bought stuff.
Okay, well, it's not just like
I got my groceries. I did some dry cleaning.
I bought a package of Little People Toy Story ones from my son. He's gonna really enjoy those one day when I give them to him.
Don't call them Little People. That's rude.
I mean, that's what I think the brand is. That's like the name Fisher-Price Little People. Pretty sure. I don't. All right.
Oh, I bought a book. Johnny, bought a book.
Okay, what'd you buy?
You like books.
I do.
First edition as a Halloween gift for Kate. I bought a first edition copy of Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Some Thomas Harris.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. Now you got to go get the other books that aren't as good. All right.
What Red Dragon and yes.
And I think there's another, like a new one now, but I can't remember because I stopped paying attention.
Anyway, yeah. So I didn't really buy anything.
All right. Tyler. Well, hold on. Did you play anything?
I don't think I ever. I mentioned last time that I finished. Did I say that I finished ActRaiser Renaissance?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, so yeah. Because we talked about it because the Nintendo Direct got us both.
Yeah, but I think we were talking on the day the Direct came out, weren't we?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I finished it. ActRaiser is one of my favorite games, so I don't know what I was expecting, but I guess my in a nutshell review is that they didn't fuck up anything that like existing gameplay. Like they reimagined the platforming elements just fine, but they added a bunch of stuff just to like make the game longer. That I felt like was just kind of superfluous, and maybe that's me being an old man or whatever. But it's there's like
value.
It's called
there's bullshit. So
there's like a bunch of like tower defense stuff now, and it's just like, what? I don't need this. I mean, it was fine. I had a fine time. Playing the game.
Okay.
But
fair enough.
But I feel like maybe if you haven't played the first ActRaiser, like I feel like someone might have a better time having not played the game, the original game, and then only having played this as like a new experience. I feel like that might be a better.
I haven't played it in like 20 years, so I mean, I like it. I'm like, yeah, I like ActRaiser. It's a good one, but I don't remember all of the details. As we learned from that trivia where you asked an ActRaiser question, and I did not know the 5 domains.
That's right.
Or the 5 realms.
Didn't know one of them. Not a one.
So there we go. All right, Tyler, what about you? You playing anything? You buying anything? You buying anything on the show, Tyler? What are you buying?
Okay. Well, if we're gonna go there right away, I bought a copy of Michigan for PS2. That one has not arrived yet, actually, because I bought it about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. I mean, shipping is fast from Japan, but
Comforting Orange on the Collector's Quest Discord, Johnny, told me about the Radical Rex Wiener Schnitzel Pogs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what they're from. I don't know a lot about them. All I know is that there are lenticular Radical Rex Pogs for some reason. And now I have them. I was the only bid of $3 with $1 shipping on them.
I want you to know
Very happy for that.
I saw those pogs and almost bid on them and stopped myself.
But my high bid, I believe, was $6. I was really going hard on these. I bid double what they ended up going for.
You were going harder than me.
I got a Half-Life 2 Collector's Edition, big box PC game. This is actually not the cool version of Half-Life 2, so I've been looking for a goddamn Half-Life 2 big box. I don't remember the deal with the Half-Life 2 big boxes. I'm sure that they were just available in like Sam's Clubs and Costco's or something, or wherever. Like cool places got the big box. Everything else got the small box. The collector's edition is technically a big box, but I don't want the collector's edition. I just want the goddamn real big box. But that's my placeholder for now. And Johnny, I bought Lord of the Rings Game 1 for the ZX Spectrum.
Oh, did you? Awesome.
The Guild Publishing first print, which comes with a copy of the book.
Yep, I love that one. Oh, I remember, Tyler, we talked about it, I think on an After Dark, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes ago. And I won the auction for The Hobbit and lost the auction for The Lord of the Rings with the book.
Oh, no.
I was very sad. It was the same seller, too, so I was doubly sad.
Oh, could have came all at once, combined that shipping.
Yep, I was.
Yeah, this game is not rare at all, by the way. This is the first Lord of the Rings game for anyone who's not keeping up with the Collector's Quest buying this bullshit. Not the first Middle-earth game. That is The Hobbit. But this is a text adventure, and there's 3 of them in the series. And do they all come with the books? Because I've only ever cared about
No, I think only that one comes with the book.
That's stupid.
Is it
Why?
Infocom? Yeah, Infocom. All right.
Well, this is not Infocom. This is Guild Publishing in arrangement by arrangement from Melbourne House.
Huh.
In association with the Tolkien Estate. They are very proud to tell you that they worked with the Tolkien Estate on these games.
Really, it's more of a book collectible.
Yep, it's pretty cool. I want it.
Johnny, I've been playing Diablo 2 Resurrected. The new graphics look just like how you remember Diablo 2 looking back in the day, and the controller feels like how Diablo was meant to be played from the beginning, but it's aged really poorly, and it's difficult to go back to.
Thanks, modern reviewer.
I hate everyone. I can't, like, I don't go looking for reviews, but like they'll appear in like my YouTube thumbnails and be like, why Diablo 2 Resurrected sucks to play now. It's like, because I'm looking up Diablo 2 videos now because I'm playing Diablo 2.
Yeah, it's like
everything I said was wrong. You guys are all nuts. This looks completely different from the old game because it's like a trip, like the frame rate is so much higher. The controller does not feel as good as keyboard and mouse, but I have to use it. That's basically the reason I'm playing the game. And it has not aged poorly. It's a wonderful, perfect game.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The title of my favorite review for Diablo 2 Resurrected is from Ars Technica. I quote, Diablo 2 Resurrected impressions. Maybe not the best time to bring back evil.
Thanks, Ars Technica.
Very poignant.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
I
feel like
talking about
modern
how the world's bad right now or something.
Blizzard specifically.
Oh my god, Jesus! Sorry, I'm playing a Blizzard game.
I've seen a lot.
As you can tell, I'm all about the art and not the artist. I don't know. I'm just trying to bring back the.
I don't know. There's a lot of there's some social justice movements against Blizzard, and I'm just like, does it really apply to? I'm like. The turnover there was so great. How many people? It doesn't all need to be equated to the same thing. Also, like, there are some people who were bad there, and then a lot of good people also worked on those games. So, yeah, punish Blizzard, the company, but, you know, a lot of people put their blood, sweat, and tears into that, and, you know, just shit canning the review because of that. That's hard. That's hard. But that's me. That's a difficult place to be in. I have not played Diablo 2 yet, so I want to. It's on my list. It's on my Amazon wish list for my birthdays. Cause I just haven't. I'm still playing Castlevania Circle of the Moon. That's only like a 12-hour game, and I'm probably 10 hours into it. But
I mean, Diablo 2 is probably like what 30 hours to beat it, maybe less, maybe like 20 hours to beat it for the first time if you have no idea what you're doing. But people are probably like, Well, it's not as good to play forever and just make it become my life like Diablo 3 is. And I only want to play games that I could play forever. Ending games is for suckers.
They could do that.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to take over my life yet. I hope it's not, because Path of Exile became a real problem. This is the first computer RPG I've played since Path of Exile. And literally every game I've played before then would be like, this isn't as good as Diablo 2. And now for once I could be like, this isn't as good as Path of Exile. But it is still a strong second best. And I played Kirby 64. It's fine. It's not the worst. It's not the best.
It sure is a crystal shard.
Yep. It's a crystal shard. What are you talking about, Johnny?
Sure. It's a crystal shard. Shit. Crystal shit.
Johnny, just what are you buying? What are you playing?
You're just done with my bullshit. All right.
It's not even a joke. It's just
why not?
It's the weakest pun you
could be
could
anything,
possibly
Tyler.
make.
Don't tell me what it is.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, what? You want to do this right now, Tyler?
Do what?
I don't know.
Are you guys gonna have sex?
Maybe. Do you want to come in?
Oh, I mean, kinda.
All right. Anyways, what I played? Tyler, don't worry about what I was doing because I don't have a good answer. You're like, what was the goal there? What was the plan? There wasn't any. It was just words falling out of my face. I bought some really good games. It's Halloween. I've put my comic buying aside, except for these ones I'm about to tell you about. I bought The Last of Us Survival Edition. Hey, you know The Last of Us? That's a game. It's like one of my favorite ever. And I only had the basic edition. I was like, I should have a nice copy of this. So I went and got the survival edition, which actually happens to come with an art book, which a thing we've talked about in this episode, and a comic book. It came with the first issue of the Dark Horse series, which was kind of like a prequel, kind of like the, the additional content that they gave you later in The Last of Us. Mm-hmm. So it's called American Dreams, and there's 4 issues. So I bought those too. Actually, those are kind of rare and they get kind of expensive. So I found a lot of all 4 of those. So I bought the Last of Us comics to go with my Last of Us Survival Edition. Feeling pretty good about that. I bought the Grim Grimoire for the PlayStation 2, but I bought the Japanese version because it has a much cooler box art. I was just like, this is a $20 game, and the box art for the Japanese one is way better, so I'm going to buy that. I'll probably buy the US one too. I'm not going to go into Tylerisms here. I don't care. I also bought The Rock of the Dead because it was a thing I didn't know existed. It's a rhythm game and also zombies, I guess. I was like, what the hell is this? Rock of the Dead for the Xbox 360.
I was really hoping it was a survival horror game about The Rock.
Yeah, nope, it isn't.
I would play that game in a second.
Yeah, no, it's like got a zombie hand, throwing up horns, holding the guitar, and it's like a $10 game. So if you're interested in it, it features Rob Zombie, Neil Patrick Harris, and Felicia Day, all people that, my age group should like. So I don't know why I didn't hear this before. It must be an awful game. The seller accepted my best offer of $6, and it shipped for a total of $6.44. So, yeah, I bought that, and the PlayStation 3 version was a total of $8.76. So, I bought both versions. But that's not the best thing I bought, Tyler. I'm going to spoil it. We're not going to have enough for the next episode, but I guess I should just tell you, and let me know, guys, if this counts. I'm not sure where to place this. Little Nicky for the Game Boy Color.
Whoa,
guys, Little Nicky.
No way!
Is this a horror game? He is the devil's son.
Based on the classic Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah, I like Little Nicky is not a great movie. I don't understand why this. Yeah, that's like the understatement of the show. I don't like what the fuck is happening here. Why is Little Nicky a thing? Anyways, I got it complete in box. I was like, Little Nicky is a thing I don't own and kind of want to. It's ridiculous. It's a weird thing. I haven't posted it yet because I'm like, am I counting this as a Halloween game? I don't know. But also, like, what a weird game to own. Little Nicky. So, that kind of stuff appeals to me. So I got that.
I'm sorry. Is it a platformer? Is it just a shitty platformer?
You know,
I hope so.
I honestly
What
have
else would it-
zero idea what the gameplay is like because it never occurred to me that I would play this.
I'm not prepared for it to be like an RTS, Tyler.
Here we go. Wait, why does it say game? Oh, it's Game Boy Color?
Yes, get your favorite system, Tyler.
Oh, I thought it was Game Boy Advance for some reason. All right. This is a pretty late release then. Little Nicky came out in 2000. What is this? Is this an adventure game? No, it's a shitty platformer. Unless it's a platform adventure game.
Yeah, subgenre says it's boxing, which can't be right.
I mean, it looks like it has some production values.
No, that's not possible. I refuse.
I mean, it's hard to tell because every Game Boy Color game looks like absolute trash.
Yeah, I mean, it's Game Boy Color, so what do you want? I think
it does not look like the worst to me, guys. Little Nicky's a hidden gem.
Oh, Tyler said something he never says. He said,
I'm reviewing a game I haven't played. It has 1 review on GameFAQs, 3 out of 10. This game can go to hell.
Get it? Because Little Nicky
is...
That's a joke. There's a YouTube review that says it's fracking sweet. Thanks. Sorry. Yeah.
I don't know why I laughed that hard. I laughed harder than you deserve, Johnny.
I don't deserve as much as I got. That's for sure. So yeah, that's, I guess if you like Adam Sandler stuff, this is for you. I don't hate Adam Sandler, but Little Nicky is not something I enjoy. I will admit to seeing it in the theater though. So there we go.
I think I saw it on like a movie channel when movie channels were a thing.
I know I saw it. I just have no idea what the context was.
Well, you can go watch it again. It's a good time to tune into Little Nicky again to see if you enjoy it. I'm sure the DVD is rare and expensive.
Well, that's the thing to grade now because VHSs, I mean, you already missed the boat. So time to grade your Little Nicky DVDs.
Oh man, on the next episode, hopefully my sealed VHS tape that I bought will arrive.
Ooh.
Can't wait.
Look, I'm really excited to talk about the game I bought today.
Yeah, well.
Next time.
Is it Michigan for the PS2?
No, it's way better.
All right.
Way better.
Is that it? Did we do it, guys? Is that the whole show?
Yeah.
We did it. All right.
Under 2 hours. What the fuck?
All right, Tyler.
Quick, let's talk about something else.
No, Tyler.
I'm Tyler at Tyler on Instagram.
That is not correct.
Default Gen, Default GEN.
That's Default Gen, Default JEN. Got him.
Yeah. All the callbacks to just excellent jokes.
Yeah. I figured I'd bring it back. It's Halloween. Why not?
Where are you guys? Quick.
Stefan. He's Archon Chortle.
God, so much pressure. Yes. Archon Chortle. Yes. No. Art of Nintendo Power. Just about everywhere. Google it. You'll find me. It's great SEO.
It's Art of Sega, SEGA.
That's right. Art of FEAR.
Yeah. Yeah, fear encased artificial robots, whatever the acronym is. So, all right. And I'm Johnny_Iucci on Instagram and our Patreon. Hey, if you're not a Patreon, you can become one by going to patreon.com/collectorsquest, where you can join for as little as $2, but no more than $6. And you'll get access to our awesome Discord, where at least 2 of us hosts hang out, because Stefan is lame and doesn't join us enough. Stefan calling you out.
Damn.
Yeah. And all of
out right on the show.
Yeah. And all of the people who, are awesome and in our Discord. There's a lot of knowledgeable individuals there. We have a good time, lots of good conversations, and occasionally we do some bonus episodes after darks that if you are at the $4 or $6 level, you will get access to. So if you're into that kind of stuff, now is a good time to join. All right. I think that's it for the show. Everybody, hey, thanks for indulging me on another Halloween episode, especially my 2 hosts. Thanks for being with me while I was in my weird mood doing weird things. I appreciate it. All right, bye!
That is our show. I hope you liked it. No errata this week. We're talking about Dragon 32 games, and, we're experts on that, so I'm sure we got everything right. Thank you for the intro music to 8-Bit. apebit.bandcamp.com. And thank you to the patrons: Richard, patron number 1, Bowden, Canadian variant alert, Chris Glidden, Nintendo World Champion, Daniel Jacksvik, high-end collector, Andrew Brim, 50 Hertz is good enough for me, Andre, Ben Parker, a bad enough dude to rescue the president, video games were meant to be slabbed, Brandon Ackley, Brian Gupta, and Pocky and Rocky with Becky, mint condition, Brian J. Mora, the strictly limited super rare Bruno, Fat Cat Collector, Chris Jackson, Chris SNK, Too Many NES Accessories, Morozek, Johnny's GBA Hookup, Coffee with Mr. Saturn, Playing with Power, Connor Strange, The Last Game You Need for the Set, Corey O'Brien, Unpunched Hang Tab, Dustin Beagle, he has returned to judge this city, Eric Addison, Man of Nintendo in the World of Nintendo, Funky Brewster, The Actual Shinobi, Jasonic the Kid, Jeff the Game Boy Ferris, Red Pyramid Thing, Jonathan Shados, Lance, Lord Hardstyle Z, and Lady Hardstyle, The Degenerate, Matt Fall, Mr. CIB, get your loose Genesis carts out of here! Funkoland employee, platform agnostic, read the game show. The Famicom Box, retro game enthusiast, vintage video game connoisseur who knows they're better than modern games, The Fuzzy, Sean, the Gamer Collective, The New Craft, who can beat Mega Man without the pause trick, previously unknown variant Tim Walker, from the internet, Todd Fisher, can't put limits on collecting, VG Collectaholic, The Millennium, Will Joe, Keeper of the Zelda variant, 0x Def Code, getting the full PS2 set because Stefan won't, all caps, what a 9.8 A++ Benji, the actually rare Bird Dog Gaming, Brandon Rogers, whose favorite episode is the wrestling episode, dropping the Mario 64 Penguin off the map, Brandon Chacker. That's our 3rd Brandon patron. We've got a lot of Brandons. Still finding deals in 2021, Colton Murphy, a winner is him, David Green, Derek Lauer, who made me edit this show, Don Libby, the hero of time, actually understands the Zelda timeline, Jeff Pierce, he is Error, Jeff Russell, Jeremy Jarvis, here for the Pog Talk, Jim Jacobs, world record holder of Best Collection, Joe actually plays his games, Champity, video game collector, nope, video game art collector because video games are art, Justin Chichio, Lateral Movement, who's got a Donkey Kong kill screen coming up, Michael, posted in the Discord right now, Chiara Monty, Nick the Video Game Database Morgan, Homebrew Mastermind, Divertov, the other guy who collects Korean releases, Peaceful Games, Dungeon Master, Reed Stubenik, The Promoter, Retro RPG Podcast, High Definition 16-bit graphics, Stevie Lou, Tom, Obscure Variant Chaser Chase, Zaventorian, he knows all 97 Nintendo games, Andrew, actually collecting N-Gage, oh, B-Nugs, Chesno, all your base are belong to him, Colby, he is Sinistar, Corhagen does what Nintendo don't, Daniel McArdle, who thought this was the Retronauts Patreon, The Modern Database, Danny Gomez, The Philatelist, Dork Overlord, My Childhood PlayStation Idol, Game-Rave.com, Joseph Rogers got 50,000 on Double Dragon, Collector of Everything, including Atari, Kalen McAteer, Sam, Sega Mark III Marks, and Sean the Video Game Illuminati LaCroix. Thank you guys so much.